Hi guys. So this week I talked to Natalie and Sophia, the girls that I usually talk to, and I talked to Natalie about her Halloween costume and both of them. She told me she dressed up as like a princess zombie type thing, like a pretty zombie. Um, and I talked to her the week before because I was actually at the school on Halloween, and she was really excited about it. And the next week, she told me about how she went trick-or-treating and nothing scared her. And I asked her if there was any scary costumes, and she said no. She told me about this whole story about how she goes and celebrates Day of the Dead, though, at Old Town with her family, and she got into talking about how a lot of people think it's scary, but she celebrates it with her family because of her culture, which I thought was really interesting coming from such a young child, that she, like, actually knew the meaning behind it, and she celebrates her grandparents' death and everything like that. And then I tried asking her questions about what does scare her, what movies and things like that, and she brought up Chucky. Like a lot of the kids had said that they heard me ask the question and they said Chucky scares them, and or Chucky doesn't scare them. But I asked her what does scare her, and they said Chucky's fake and that doesn't scare me. But Natalie said that Mama, the movie that came out like last year, she said she saw that with like on Netflix or something or Redbox, and she said that movie was really scary, and she sat next to me and told me the entire story and plot line, and I haven't seen it, but I've seen previews and talked about it. And she said how scary it was, and she described the character to a T. She described the whole story. She told me like every little single detail, so I like looked it up, and it was exactly how she said. And I guess the mom kills their baby, and she told me that's what scared her the most, is like thinking about that in her head and whether or not like her parents could, like, she could be dreaming and then her parents come in and kill her. Which was kind of sad. But she said she knows it's fake, but it still scares her. And then she also brought up the fact that she doesn't watch scary movies with her parents. She watches them by herself, and I think that she said that that like makes it more scary or less scary depending on the movie. And then when her parents do co-view with her, she only watches family type movies. So I'm assuming like less scary and obviously like funny movies and things like that. Um, so the things that like had a long-lasting impression on her or impact on her were the things she watched by herself and didn't have her parents sitting right there with her. And she also, the thing with fantasy versus reality, it's really interesting to see, like, she clearly was telling me that she knows the difference between Chucky as being a fake doll and all these other scary characters that all the kids have heard of. They say, I know that that's fake, I know that's not a real clown that's going to kill me, and they can tell the difference. Whereas I think if I would have talked to some of the younger kids, they would have just thought it was a real thing. And also with like the age group, depending on how much they consume media, like how often, because if you see a scary movie over and over and over again, you can be desensitized by it. So she told me that she's seen Chucky like 20 times, but Mama she's only seen twice. So I think that also relates to it. And it was really interesting talking to her about it because she was extremely excited to tell me about all the scary movies and scary things she's ever seen. So hopefully I get to talk to her more next week.